More than 2 hours before tip-off, the MVP out, fine-tuning his game. LeBron James knows a crucial Game 4 coming up next on ABC.
Dominant, breathtaking, transcendent.
James again is lighting it up.
It will be the worst home playoff loss in the franchise history of the Boston Celtics.
Did, boy, were they so impressive, Mark. LeBron James had a masterpiece, but the Celtics have beaten the Cavs when he's played at a high level. The key for Cleveland is supporting cast played equally as well.
Oh, absolutely. You can get fooled into thinking it was a one-man band. It was an absolute group effort. When you talk about LeBron James, obviously the numbers were spectacular, but the other guys stepped up and made life so much easier for LeBron and forced the Celtics to not play LeBron 1-on-4, 1-on-5. Other guys stepping up like Jameson's numbers. West, O'Neal was a presence on both ends of the floor in the interior. Mo Williams and Parker's defense and timely offense made a difference.
Let's take a look at today's starting lineups presented by Taco Bell. And again, James was brilliant, but he had a lot of help, as Mark said. Shaquille O'Neal, Antoine Jamison, both their best games of the series in Game 3. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, they know everyone's got to pick it up if they want to stop this train that was Cleveland in Game 3. What a dominant victory it was for the Cavaliers. It was the best road playoff win in their franchise history and was the worst home playoff loss for the Celtics in their franchise history. And our Spanish language version of today's game presented by ESPN Deportes. Use the SAP button on your television. Shaq got off to a good start the other night, and Perkins swats away his first shot here today. The start of the game was just all Cleveland. Right from the get-go, James was superb. The Cavalier defense really made things difficult. And in many ways, this game was decided very early, maybe even in the first quarter, as Pierce's first shot won't go. In that Game 3, Cavaliers shot 59% from the field. James had his 21 points in the first quarter. He outscored the Celtics all by himself. As we have an offensive 3 seconds, Shaq was in the paint. And a turnover. You saw Doc Rivers. He was obviously upset with the defense, so were the players. As they called it a terrible loss, especially on the defensive end, where they had nothing to stop the Cleveland Cavaliers. Garnett's first shot won't go.
You like what the Celtics are doing early on in this ball game. Paul Pierce gets a touch in an isolation situation, then KG gets a touch on the block. Much different story.
Jamison, nice move. Garnett may have gotten a piece of it, but Jamison still put it in. Once again, he's coming off his best game of the series, one of his better ones of the playoffs.
I agree with Mark. Very good 2 offensive possessions, but Kevin Garnett has to do a better job of containing Jamison's right-hand drive. I think that knee has detracted more from his defense than it has from his offense.
That foul on Mo Williams is first as we check in for the first time with Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, disappointing, humbling, embarrassing, all words that the Celtics used to describe Friday. Kendrick Perkins said he didn't sleep because he was so upset. But when the guys got to practice yesterday, Doc Rivers asked them, how close can this series be after 3 games? And they said 2-1. He said, well, that's where we are. Let's move on.
Well, they've missed their first 3 shots. Have had good looks, just won't go down. And as James gets it to Jamison, nice pass inside, and Shaq with an easy 2 and a foul.
Tell you what, that's a great find by Jamison. Had to run to the body of Parker off the spot, being a shooter, fake the pass, and then put it on point to Shaquille O'Neal. First of all, caught it. We've seen time and time again him catch it on the move, forcing the defense to collapse. And that's an on-time pass to Shaquille with a big-time finish.
Here you see Shaq's numbers in the series. He was 12 points, 9 rebounds in Game 3. Big in the early charge led by the Cavaliers in that opening period.
And again, Jamison beat him with the right-hand dribble. To me, when it's a 3-4 pick and roll, they might want to switch it to make sure they don't, as Pierce charges.
Nice defense from Anthony Parker.
I just don't think they can get in rotation against this team. Because if they're in rotation, it leaves O'Neal underneath the basket, and they have enough 3-point shooting to keep you honest.
So the defense from Parker. Parker played Rondo very well in game 3. Rondo, who was dominant in the first couple of games. James with Allen on him on this possession. Flips it up and banks it in. And just like that, it's 7-0. And quickly, Doc Rivers will call a timeout. Less than 2.5 minutes into the game. Not the start the Celtics had envisioned.
Well, James moving without the ball, doesn't let Ray Allen set, spins away. That's a tough shot. Well defended, but this is why this guy is the best offensive player in the NBA.
The 2010 playoffs continue. Phoenix, San Antonio, game 4 tonight. Spurs trying to keep their season alive. It's on TNT. And who knows what's going to happen Thursday and next Sunday. Right now, some dominant series going on. This is the only one in the conference semifinals that will definitely not be a sweep. Some impressive performances in the last couple of days as Ray Allen nails a two-pointer. His foot was on the line. Allen, the leading scorer in the playoffs for the Celtics, was just 2 of 9 in game 3.
That's good patience by Rondo, also turning down the jump shot, waiting for the play to develop. So Allen comes off the down screen and he hits him on point.
You know, Mark, we talk so much as he gets the pass from Rondo. Rondo has to find a balance between looking for his offense, which he's capable certainly of doing, and getting his teammates involved. How do you find that balance?
Well, as a point guard, you have to understand the best scenario to win this series. It's not about Rondo getting his, and my goodness, Jamison punches it on Perkins. That's how you interrupt somebody from making a point.
And that got the Cavalier bench up. Jamison, who said he settled for too many outside shots in the first 2 games of the series. That's 2 strong moves to the basket so far here today. And we have a defensive 3 seconds call against the Cavs. So a 1-shot technical. What an impressive play for Jamison.
I know you're used to seeing my flow that says Jamison, but how about this? Remix version. Cocks it back and punches it over Perkins.
And can I harp on something?
Sure.
How many times are they going to take the angle back to Jamison on a closeout that encourages him to drive to his right hand? He's not going to drive and finish with his left as well, and he's certainly not going to pass off the dribble as well. So whether they don't give as much help on the pick against Mo Williams, but they've got to contain Jamison and his penetration.
And you know the upsetting thing about what the point you're making, Coach, is that's obvious. That's obvious. That's a situation where you're allowing Jamison to go to his strength.
Rondo goes to one of his strengths, that nice little floater that he's mastered. And it's 9-5. Ray Allen chasing LeBron James. Anthony Parker spotting up for 3, rattles it in. Right now, the Cavaliers, coming into today's action, are the best shooting team in the NBA playoffs. They've been terrific, and that's not out of the norm because during the regular season, they were the 3rd best shooting team. Rondo scoots inside. They're 5 of 6 to start. Shaq short. Good defense from Perkins. Here's Pierce. Celtics want him to get on track. As Jeff mentioned earlier, just 31% shooting in the series through the first 3 games. Garnett, short. Here's James leading the break. So dangerous. Knocked away from behind by Rondo.
See, that effort by Rondo right there, that's a winning effort. You didn't see that in game 3. This effort, they've struggled to guard him so far, but this is a dead sprint. You want to win, you run back. Great effort by Rondo.
Mo Williams
In and out.
I'm giving Rondo a Tommy point on that play.
For those around the country who don't know what a Tommy point is, Tommy Heinsohn, the Celtic Hall of Famer, does the local broadcast for the Celtics. That's what he gets to hustle plays. Tommy points, they call him. The great Tommy Heinsohn is here in attendance this afternoon. They call the foul on Antoine Jamison.
Kevin Garnett at the line has 2 shots.
So Garnett's going to go to the line. They call it in the act of shooting.
And that's the correct call. I like the move by Kevin Garnett.
I agree with you. Take it to the basket. And listen, they can milk this matchup. Getting Jamison in foul trouble could be their best defense by making him play 2 bigs. And here, I thought he had the intent to pass because he's behind the backboard, but he sold it.
He sold it. But to get back to that point, the previous play was a fadeaway jump shot. I think you take the fadeaway jump shot when you've established your rhythm. But force the issue and take advantage of your matchup. I like that move much better.
Both Doc Rivers and Ray Allen said before the game today that the #1 key for them basketball strategy-wise on offense was to establish the post. Garnett so effective in the first 2 games. Shaq's pass deflected. Ray Allen with some good defense. Rondo flips it out. And good defense from James down the other end. Last touch by Allen. Cavalier ball.
And I like Ray Allen on LeBron James. He doesn't make mistakes, and he's not discouraged when James takes a shot they want him to take, and he's still able to make it.
Jamison misfires. Rondo, one of the best rebounding point guards in the league, grabs that one. Kicks it out, Allen. Allen on the drive, the floater. Nice shot from Ray Allen, his second field goal. And 6 straight points for Boston.
But a much better Boston Celtic offense. Multiple guys touching the basketball, ball movement, man movement, getting quality looks.
Jeff, do you think the reason that Allen is on LeBron James is... Oh, Perkins with another block. And Rondo the rebound. Rondo kicks it back out. Allen for 3. Too strong. Pierce the rebound. Back up. Count it. And a foul. And the Celtics have their first lead. They never had a lead in game 3. It was a wire-to-wire demolition by the Cavs. But they got themselves a lead here in game 4 early in the first.
Pushing the ball in transition. Great read by Rondo. Knockdown shot by Ray Allen. Misses it, but because of the defense was forced to collapse, you get an offensive board, and Pierce immediately explodes back up, gets the basket into contact.
Mo Williams' second foul, so he goes to the bench. Delonte West is in.
And Mike, I think when you're struggling to score, to get a layup and a free throw, to try to get yourself going, is the best way to bring you out of that slump. But I'm going to get back to your point about why Ray Allen on LeBron James. They were doing these in second half of games, but I think it gives Pierce a cross-matching situation where he's not always going to be guarded by James as a defensive 3-second violation is called against the Celtics. So I think 2 things happen. Ray Allen, who defended Wade well, is able to be a more disciplined defender, and 2, maybe Pierce will get some transition opportunities against Anthony Parker.
Well, Pierce has become a much better defender in recent years, as is Ray Allen. A lot of the credit goes to Kevin Garnett and what he's brought defensively since he came here. And Tom Thibodeau, the assistant coach, who has such a great reputation, has done a terrific job as Doc Rivers' assistant. Coming up on the midway point of the first, certainly a much better start here in game 4. James sets, three-pointer off the mark. James and the Cavs hardly missed in the first quarter of game 3. They've missed their last 5 shots here. Rondo flips it up. Does not get the roll. And a loose ball foul on Perkins. Perkins was in foul trouble early in game 3. And he picks up 2 quick fouls here in game 4 as we have a timeout. Well, Doc Rivers' team has come out much more aggressively. Certainly much better defensively. But now their starting center pushed off, and he picks up his second foul. 5:54 remaining. First quarter here of game 4 for Boston. The Celtics with a 1-point lead. Back in Boston, Celtics lead the Cavs 14-13 before the game. Doc Rivers had an analogy appropriate for the day.
The greatest thing about a mom, if there was an apple pie and there were 5 pieces left and there were 6 people in the room, she would say, I don't like apple pie. So it can be 5 and 5. That's a sacrifice. That's how we have to play, guys. We have to play for each other.
Nice timing on the analogy.
Listen, my mom knows I love her and she sacrifices, but if there were 5 pieces left and there were 6 people in the room, she would have taken the pie and said, hey, make your own pie, son. No, she's eating it. She is.
I cannot believe that on Mother's Day you took a shot at your mom.
I'm not taking a shot. I love my mom. My mom was the ultimate sacrificer, but she's eating her pie now. And I know she's down in Florida throwing a shoe at the TV right now, but it's true.
Cindy Van Gundy, we feel for you today, Mark and I do. Meanwhile, Pierce picks up 2 fouls. So Tony Allen will come in. Allen has become back part of the rotation. Had injury problems this year, in and out of the rotation. In the playoffs, though, he's been there, and he's had some very good games.
Yeah, this is going to be a big point for the Celtics. Going
Shaq
to the
gets
bench,
inside and hammered, marked by Rasheed.
but going to the bench, you bring in Rasheed Wallace and Tony Allen. It's important for any successful team to sustain what's going on the way that the first unit started this ballgame. That's crucial. This is a good job by Rasheed Wallace. Shaquille O'Neal turns, gets an angle. Your job, don't give him anything easy. Historically, he's a bad free throw shooter. Force him to go to the line.
And I'm interested in seeing who O'Neal's going to play at the other end. Is he going to guard Garnett at the 2-point area, or is he going to guard Rasheed, who may stretch him out to the 3-point line? I would suspect he would guard Garnett.
Well, and I would go the other way. I would suspect he would guard Rasheed Wallace and force him to be a long-range jump shooter as opposed to Kevin Garnett, who's an outstanding mid-range jump shooter.
Shaq gets 1 of 2. He's actually shooting pretty well in the playoffs, 70% from the free throw line through the first 8 games of the postseason. So Doc Rivers having to go to the bench early with the foul problems for Perkins and Pierce. Garnett, backdoor, nice setup, and good eye contact with Rondo.
And you were right, and right away they went to it. So the opportunity to go backdoor, and also I expect to see them continue to put him in pick and rolls where KG can get wide open jumpers.
Parker with a hand in his face. Oh, tough shot from Parker, who was 4 for 4 from the field Friday night.
You said it, Mike. It was a tough shot. But see, if you're the Celtics, you can't be discouraged by that. You played that exceptionally well. To me, Ray Allen's mental toughness as every bit as impressive as his shooting.
Rondo left open. That was part of the Cavs' strategy in Game 3. They didn't want Rondo to start operating and take command of the game, much like he did in Cleveland in Game 2. Once again, down to Shaq against Wallace, and another foul for Wallace.
Well, before Garnett had his knee injury, this used to be a staple. When Garnett would come to the pick and roll, if you tried to cheat it, he's going to back cut. Rondo was going to throw it up. This is a perfectly placed pass. Nice read by Garnett.
Shaq back to the line for Shaquille O'Neal. This is 211th career playoff game. He's still getting it done in a different role. He's the oldest active player in the NBA. And you guys talked about it all season long. You were impressed by the way he's accepted his role.
Outstanding job of understanding what point he's at in his career and not being a problem. Fulfilling his role for the Cavs. And quite honestly, he has played very well in that role.
Let's check in with Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, you know Shaquille O'Neal has a term for everything. He calls himself an other now. I asked him what other means. He says, well, I'm one of those other guys, one of those supporting players. He said, earlier in my career, I was the man. I'd get 30, 35 shots a game. Now I don't get that many, so it's much more difficult for me to find a rhythm.
Rondo has to take a bad shot. He found the rhythm the other day as Tony Allen gets it back. Layup, no good, but a foul. And Tony Allen will shoot 2. He played very well to start Game 3, Shaquille did. You see the story of the paper that in the locker room after the game, he was singing that song, that commercial that we see over and over now. It's run during a lot of the playoffs. I have no pants, or I wear no pants. You know that song in the commercial? Please tell me that you've seen it.
I think it's that, like, yeah, I've seen it, but I don't even know what the company is, so it's a horrible commercial if you don't know what company it is.
Well, he was singing in the locker room. He still has a sense of humor. Boy, am I sorry I went there.
That was a perfect time for you. I was going to leave him hanging. You should have just said, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
It's the free throw.
Because when you go out on a limb like that, you should, you know, it's like a fireman with a cat. They got to stay up there. But you know, right now, the Celtics, to me, I would put Ray Allen in the pick and rolls with Garnett because Shaquille O'Neal could not sag back. Now you're going to make O'Neal come up.
Celtics by 3. James double. Parker, that's a difficult shot. Bergeau grabs the rebound. Delonte West off the mark. Rondo looking to push. He already has 3 assists, 6 points. Left-handed shot won't go. Garnett took it away from Bergeau and lays it in. It's a different Celtics team here this afternoon in Game 4. And the crowd appreciative of the effort. Celtics heard some boos on Friday night.
And they earned them. And they earned these cheers as well because they're giving a Celtic prideful effort.
Allen deflects it out of bounds. Glenn Davis will check in.
That's good take by Rondo. Good effort by Garnett. To me, it's his individual defense and his rebounding, which has been hampered by the knee injury. That time, good effort to generate a second chance opportunity.
Garnett sits as Davis comes in. J.J. Hickson in for Cleveland. Cavs with one of the best benches in the NBA. So deep a team. James off balance 3 has to shoot it as the shot clock is winding down. Rondo, the drive. Rondo, the layup. Rajon Rondo, a terrific start. And the Celtics get their first standing ovation of the afternoon. Celtics with a 7-point lead, a 14-point turnaround as they trailed 7-0 to start the game. With 2:49 remaining in the first, LeBron James exploded in Game 3. And the Celtics doing a much better job defensively here in Game 4. He's obviously not looking to attack as much as he did. Is it more of his mindset or is it more of the Celtic defense?
Well, I think it's the Celtic defense is instead of being reactive or being the aggressors, they're up and into people more. They're making him pass off the pick and roll. That's led to some Jamison opportunities, but I like their aggression level.
I think it's clearly the Celtic defense. This is not the same defense that they played in Game 3. This is a team playing with a sense of urgency and getting it done.
Tony Allen guarding James, looking to post up. James gets by him and gets tripped up. Allen with his first. Celtics already with 3 players with a couple of fouls here in the opening period.
You see the isolation with Tony Allen. You want to force him towards the help. Rondo sitting at the foul line. Force him that way and trust that the help will get help from someone else.
And this is the value of Shaquille O'Neal, who's now on the bench. He drew 3 fouls, which gets him in the penalty, which allows James now, when they're in the penalty, to attack and live at the free throw line. So that's one of the most undersold benefits of having Shaquille O'Neal on your team.
Did you guys talk about that over dinner the other night?
Yeah, I was explaining to him, you know, like, my family is squarely behind him in this series. You know, we're his biggest fans. But hey, listen, you may not love a guy, or love all that he says, but you got to recognize his greatness as a player. And one of the things he still does is get people in the penalty.
Ray Allen poked away from behind by West. Still Boston ball. 5 to shoot.
And by the way, mentioning Shaquille O'Neal, how about his mom being your mom's assistant coach? Is that unbelievable?
The Jacksons are getting it done. You care to elaborate?
Well, there's a NBA moms versus NFL moms charity basketball game. And I'll explain it when we get back.
That is getting it done in the TV world.
Celtics in the Cavs this afternoon. They reset the shot clock to 14 with 2:06 remaining here in the opening period.
And I'm not sure why they reset it to 14.
I don't know either. Tony Allen misfires. Jamario Moon, who just checked in the rebound. Now to go back to your guys' point, that, well, the NBA mothers have formed their own association. They do charitable work, and one of them is going to be a charity basketball game against NFL mothers.
Right, and Marie Jackson is the head coach. And I am going to go to the game as Rondo's fouled, and I am going to heckle her like she heckled me and our coaches and the referees all at once. So I'm coming at Marie Jackson as the head coach.
Well, when you were coaching the Knicks and Mark was playing, she made her presence felt at Madison Square Garden.
And she let you know when her son was not getting the minutes he deserved.
Now think about it. On Mother's Day, you have taken 2 down, and this is just the first quarter.
I didn't take my mom down. She's the best. Sacrificed everything except her apple pie. And your mom is great.
Cavs.
Why am I apologizing for compliments?
Cavs in the penalty. Let's listen to a recent huddle.
They're a little bit more physical than us. Every ball that's bouncing on the ground, they're getting to or rebounds. We got to keep them off the glass, and then we got to make them shoot jump shots. They're getting to the rim. Everything they're doing is in the paint, so we got to shrink the floor and make shoot jump shots down there.
Well, everything working way for the Celtics after that slow start. Now up by 6. James, that's a 2-pointer, and rolls around and in for his second field goal. Celtics pushing down the other end. Ray Allen, coast to coast. Boy, that's a quick bucket after a make. Mike Brown, red hot.
And you can see what the Celtics game plan is. They want to push the basketball down the throat of the Cavs, creating easy offense.
West to Hickson. Look at Rondo, battled, throws it off. Verjao. Rajon Rondo has 5 rebounds already. For a guy 6'1", he is an amazing rebounder.
And their whole attention to detail was better. Good effort by Rondo, but they didn't close to J.J. Hickson as a shooter like they did in the last game where he drove it to his right hand. They said, fine, you want to take that 18-foot jump shot? Go ahead. We're going to play the percentages. Excellent job by Rondo, and I also like the offensive balance that Rondo's finding between shot and pass so far today.
I like the way Verjao bounced back after that very hard hit with the ball. Hickson fouls Rasheed Wallace. Hickson has 2 fouls, and the Celtics will go to the line for the 9th and 10th time here in the first quarter. That's been a problem for them the first 3 games of the series. Cavaliers have been to the free throw line much more. Main reason is they've just been more aggressive.
But, Coach, you make a great point as far as the balance of Rondo, whether it be a scorer or a guy making plays. I can remember being coached by Pat Riley. He says when he played with the Los Angeles Lakers, they drew up a play down the stretch for Wilt Chamberlain. Pat Riley came out of the huddle, was wide open, and took the jump shot. They lost the ball game. He explained to Wilt why he took the shot, because he was open. Wilt said he was supposed to be open. Their game plan was for you to shoot the basketball. Get the ball into your playmaker's hands and trust the results.
Well, one more free throw coming up as Leon Poe will check back in. As we spoke about on Friday night, Leon Poe won a championship with the Boston Celtics, gets a nice ovation. He was a popular player here, excellent role player, one of Doc Rivers' favorite players he's ever coached. Suffered that devastating knee injury and didn't return till about mid-season. It's not 100%. Never really got back fully into the rotation with the Cavs, but getting a chance in back-to-back games here in Boston.
And I think the Celtics, when Poe was healthy, the Celtics miss his energy and his edge and his toughness that he brought to the team.
Final minute in the first. James gets inside and a foul. Davis tried to draw the charge, but he got hit. Rasheed Wallace picks up his 3rd foul in just 5 minutes as James goes to the line. A reminder, Amazing is being here. Season tickets for 2010-2011 on sale now. Go to nba.com/tickets to reserve your seats. The NBA. Amazing happens. 2010-2011, where will LeBron James be playing? Of course, one of the big stories throughout the year. He's not the only one. Talking to Ray Allen before the game. Ray Allen's another one of those unrestricted free agents. I asked Ray, do you think about today could be your final game at home in a Celtic uniform? He says it crosses your mind. Said he actually had to register his kids for school this week for next fall. And he said, all right, let's do it. You don't know where we're going to be, but sign them up. He'd love to stay here in Boston. He's already made that clear. Rondo knocks down the shot. Boy, what a first period for Rondo. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. West fakes. blocked inside. Davis and Allen converged. And the Celtic defense, boy, what a difference here this afternoon from Game 3. Pierce has been sitting since the 6-minute mark with 2 fouls. Perkins also with 2 fouls. Celtic bench has helped. James jump shot way off. Davis the rebound. Final seconds. Rondo did not get it off in time. And that will end the first period. LeBron James in Game 3 exploded. He had 21. Certainly not as much here. You didn't expect it in Game 4. What you did expect was the Celtics to bounce back. And boy, did they ever. After falling behind 7-0, Celtics turned it on. Excellent defense, 55% shooting. And after one, they lead by 9.
Welcome back to Boston. Mike, you guys jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead, and now you're down 9. What changed?
You know, we started letting them get to the rim. They got to the rim in transition. They got to the rim in the half court. I don't think they've hit a jump shot yet. And, you know, if we're going to do that, we're going to have a long night.
You talked about them getting to the rim. Rajon Rondo, a big part of that. 11 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds in that first quarter. What's the defensive strategy for him?
You know what? He's doing a great job of getting to the rim. We're not going to be able to take away everything from him. We're going to have to keep trying to mix things up. But most importantly, not allow him to get to the rim as easy as he's doing. And we also got to come up with loose balls. They're killing us in the 50-50 ball battle.
All right, thanks for your time. Mike?
All right, Lisa. Rondo did actually hit a couple of jump shots, 5 of 8 overall. Also got his teammates involved. Good defense with a steal as well.
And if I was Doc Rivers, I would have been very tempted at the end of that quarter to bring Paul Pierce back with James sitting, to be able to try to score with James not on the floor.
Rondo gets it inside. Nice pass again. Tony Allen with the finish. And believe it or not, in this series, this is the first double-digit lead by the home team in any of the games. This one's surprising, as the last 2 games, the home team got blown out. Game 2 in Cleveland, Cavs beaten badly. In Game 3, the Boston Massacre, another one.
Think about it. While you guys were relaxing on your day off as Shaquille knocks down the easy lay-in, I was doing some research. The last time the Celtics were down 30 in their own building, anybody know? 160 games ago in 2007 against the Houston Rockets, coached by our own Jeff Van Gundy.
Whoa. That was a blowout. I remember that game. Kelvin Cato was hurt. It was our best game plan we could have ever had. We got shooting on the floor. We picked him apart that night.
West puts up a 3. That won't go. Different shooting. Again, you look in Game 3 as Rondo inside. Blocked, but a foul. Rondo hit as Hickson went to block it. Excuse me, Shaq. Rondo still down on the floor.
That's his first personal, first team foul.
The foul is called on Delonte West. Yeah, it was West hit, and then these Shaq and Rondo kind of converge with their feet down low. Landed hard on his back.
I like what Doc's doing also, keeping Rondo in the ballgame. You're young, you're fresh. Give me what you got, and we'll worry about getting rest tomorrow.
Now Rondo misses that free throw. Rondo's not a good free throw shooter. During the regular season, 62%, one of the lowest amongst all NBA guards. But in the first round, he shot 83%. In the second round, he's at 77%.
But I agree with you, Mar. I think it's an outstanding move by Doc Rivers. First of all, they don't have another point guard, really, a true point, to be his backup. So I like him playing big minutes, 44, 45 minutes tonight. I think it's going to take every one of those for them to win the game.
See Pierce back in, and a moving screen called on Varejao. Well, Varejao picks up his first.
That is his first personal foul.
Ray Allen set the check back in. James sitting after only 8 points in the first quarter. Mo Williams trying to defend Tony Allen. Davis blocked by O'Neal, but a foul. Couple of LSU Tigers battling down low. Shaq's first.
That's his first personal, second team foul.
And Glenn Davis checks in. Rondo will sit not for long. Glenn Davis, who last year in the playoffs with Garnett out, played so well in the postseason, thought this year he'd come back and be a big part of the rotation. Then they signed Rasheed Wallace in the offseason, so that was going to limit some minutes. And then he was out early in the season after that fight with his friend early. He missed the first 28 games. And slowly worked himself back in toward the tail end of the regular season. Played well. He's had a couple of decent playoff games as well.
And listen, if you want to be known as Uno,
I knew where you was headed.
You got to come up with something better than that. Big Baby's a great nickname. You can't go from Big Baby to Uno. Have your handlers, have your marketing people come up with something better than that.
Well, it happened right after he broke his thumb. And, a silly incident, just goofing around fighting with his friend. West gets inside and won't go. Fairchild tips it. Ball still alive. Delonte West pushed by Wallace. And that's 4 fouls on Rasheed Wallace. How do you argue that close? He bumped him. So now the Cavs will take it out of bounds. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the second. 34-24, a 10-point Boston lead. Now Wallace will sit Perkins back in.
But I thought Wallace did his job. He took a couple fouls against O'Neal to make him go to the free throw line. It's not about, hey, when you're matched up against O'Neal, you're not going to get your normal numbers because you're probably going to be in foul trouble.
Davis now guarding him. Shaq misses. Perkins rips down the rebound. And Celtics looking to push at every opportunity. Pierce stripped. Oh, nice pass to Parker, and Parker is fouled from behind.
Great effort by Tony Allen in transition. We saw it earlier with Rondo running back. Tony Allen, same thing to prevent the breakaway dunk.
Also a good pass in transition. Putting it on point, putting him in position to have a breakaway. But I like what Doc Rivers, he's pulling Paul Pierce aside and saying, hey, you have the matchup you want. When you get the basketball, slow it down, get everybody out of your way, and turn into Paul Pierce. That time I thought he forced it a little bit too much, as if LeBron James was guarding him. You got a smaller guy on you, get to your spot and capitalize.
Parker knocks down a pair. Parker, the brother of Candace Parker. Also the brother-in-law of Celtics Sheldon Williams. Sheldon Williams and Candace Parker married.
You think they're eating between games?
Who's eating? Allen misfires.
Sheldon and his brother-in-law.
I don't know.
I'm not. I'm poisoning his food. Really.
There's a foul on Shaq's follow. So free throws.
I'm trying to give him some food poisoning so he's out. If I'm going to invite him over, cook it up.
This is supposed to be a feel-good holiday, Mother's Day.
This is about winning.
Just a little bit of a shove from Davis.
You know what the problem is? I know you, so I know there's some truth to it.
Some. Listen, come over and have some fish. Oh, I forgot to cook it. My fault.
This would be the 6th and 7th free throw from O'Neal. And he's 4 of 6. We said the oldest active player in the NBA right now, playing in his 211th playoff game. Looking for yet another ring. He's got 4 of them already. 3 with the Lakers and then 2006 with the Miami Heat. He's played in 6 NBA Finals games.
And again, the Celtics already have 3 team fouls.
O'Neal with the block. Cavs back within 6. Mo Williams gets it to go. A 3-pointer for Williams for his first field goal. And Celtics back to 3. Cavs an excellent road team all year. They showed it certainly Friday night. They've had 2 of their best wins in the playoffs on the road. Game 4 in Chicago, Game 3 in Boston. Right now they're down 3.
I love this one. Star players are involved. Penetration. Mo Williams finally gets it going. Knocks down a dagger jump shot. And how about your superstar on the bench? Not just sitting there chilling, but involved in the game.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
What's up? Stuart Scott in the studio. Here's our Air Force above the rim play. Game 3 last night in Utah. Jazz guard Wesley Matthews with this fourth quarter throwdown on Lamar Odom. But it was the Lakers who escaped with a 1-point victory and a 3-0 series lead. Now let's go back to Boston.
All right, Stuart. Celtics leading by 3. Second round of the playoffs continues. The other 3 series could all end up in sweeps. Orlando leading Atlanta, Phoenix over San Antonio. They'll play game 4 tonight on TNT. And Lakers leading Utah. All right, Mark, of all those 3 teams that had that 3-0 lead, to you, which is the most surprising, which has been the most impressive?
Very surprising to me that Phoenix leads San Antonio 3-0. I thought it would be a very competitive series. I'm not shocked that Phoenix wins it, but I thought that the Spurs would certainly put up a bigger fight.
Jeff, of all those 3, which one are you most happy about?
Well, I got to say Orlando by a wide margin, but I think Phoenix has done a great job, but I think anybody who's counting out San Antonio is making a mistake. I think they could pull off what Portland did a few years back, where they were down 3-0 to Dallas, won 3 straight, and played a great 7th game.
Ray Allen hits a 3, and the Celtics back up by 8. Allen with 10 points. Big turnaround for him. He only had 7 the entire Friday night game 3. And a defensive 3-second call against the Celtics.
Defensive 3-second violation.
This is where Rondo has played exceptionally well. Watched the defense collapse in transition, found Ray Allen, and not only found him, put it right in his shooting pocket so he could knock it in.
And prior to it, ball fakes, forcing the defense to react, buying Allen another second to feel the seams.
And by the way, if I ever take another point guard highlight in transition, you just smack me upside my head. That's your domain. Because that's the play that you would have made.
No. I watched your body of work at Nazareth, sir. I'm very familiar with what you did at Nazareth. That's a great job. Ball faking, waiting until Allen filled the spot, and then an on-point pass. And Allen does the rest. I watched you at Nazareth.
I had the passing, but I had Dino Amino on the wing. He's not making that shot.
Do you make these names up, or are they legitimate names?
That's my running partner.
What was his name again?
Dino Amino.
West inside, Jamison. Off balance, Perkins may have gotten a piece of it. Rondo down the other end. Oh, nice adjustment. Can't finish. And here comes James. Kicks it out, Parker, right back inside. Perkins got a piece of that one. That was close to a goaltend. As Rondo throws it ahead, Garnett, Allen for 3. Bang! Now they say it's a 2.
Finals start June 3rd.
You know, I have great women in my life, and, you know, they take care of me, make sure that I say the right things, do the right things, and, you know, I don't know where I would be without my mom. You know, she's gotten me to where I am today. She'll be in the stands tonight, definitely cheering me on. So, you know, a big shout out to my mom and, you know, all the great mothers out there in the world today.
Well, she's had a lot to cheer about. A recent finisher of the Boston Marathon. Flo Allen Hobson, Ray's mother, is cheering on her son this afternoon.
Great lady and has a lot to be proud of, not just having a knockdown jump shooter as a son. She's a shuttleworth. He's certainly got game. Pushing the ball in transition. I love this play by KG. Finding Ray Allen spotted up, certainly has a rhythm going. Outstanding job of knocking down jump shots. Do you?
He only had 7 points Friday night after 22 in the Game 2 victory in Cleveland. He has erupted here. There's West shot blocked, swatted away. Third block from Perkins. Rondo goes at James. And a blocking foul called on LeBron James. Everything going the Celtics' way right now. Perkins got it started down the other end.
He sure did. Good help, good block shot to ignite the break. And I give Rondo a lot of credit. He's going right at one of the premier defenders and shot blockers in transition in the game in LeBron James. And that was a good call. That was definitely a block.
He's already taken a couple of tough hits, knocked to the ground. Rondo is a tough kid. He's 6'1". They list him at about 170. And he took a shot there against James. And that looked like a good call. What a year it's been for Rajon Rondo. Started off with a $55 million contract extension. Then became an all-star for the first time. Set a couple of Celtics single-season records. Broke Bob Cousy's assist record, Rick Fox's steals record. He led the league in steals, made all-defense first team. Just a tremendous season for this young point guard. His team up by 10 with just under 6.5 remaining in the second. Shot clock down to 5. Shaq against Perkins. Good defense from Perkins. Looked like that was a travel.
And defensively, what you're looking for right there is that he can't displace you. So to me, on those back ends, Perkins is doing a good job. I think those are near offensive fouls.
Another 3. And Jamison the board. James has Rondo on him on the switch. Powers in. Perkins got a piece. James gets it back. And a travel. Mike Callahan's going to overrule the call, though. Michael Smith, the baseline official, called a travel. But Callahan says there was a foul beforehand. And that will take precedent. All right, gets the rebound. Let's look.
That's nothing right there.
Well, it's going to be his Cavs ball out of bounds. It's the third. Check that 14 foul. Doc Rivers was not pleased.
Who would have been?
Mike Brown. Fans expressing their displeasure. Allen again stays on James. He's defended him much of his first half. Pass inside for Parker. A turnover. That's number 6 for Cleveland.
I really believe with 5:24 left to go in this half, the game will be won in these minutes. Which team closes out this half the right way?
Rondo with Parker in pursuit. Rondo gets hit again and throws the ball up, and he'll get to the free throw line for the 7th and 8th time of the half.
That is his second personal, 4th team foul. Rajon Rondo at the line has...
He's just 3 of 6 so far this afternoon. You know, you talk so much about great trades that general managers make. Sometimes it's the ones that you don't make or the players that you don't include, and Rondo falls under that category. In both the Kevin Garnett deal from Minnesota and the Seattle deal, or it's Ray Allen when they were still in Seattle, both GMs wanted Rajon Rondo in that deal, and both said they were ready to call off the deals unless Rondo was thrown in. But Danny Ainge stuck to his guns and said he would not trade Rondo. He believed in him, even though he had his up-and-down rookie season. And boy, has he come through for his belief.
But you can even take it back further. Mike D'Antoni and the Phoenix Suns. Rondo was a Phoenix Sun, and they traded him.
That was back in 06. He was the 21st selection, and the Suns traded him right away to Boston for Brian Grant and a first-rounder. And Ray Allen and LeBron James exchanged some words.
Fouls on number 20, Ray Allen. That's his first personal team limit.
He got caught up a little bit.
James at the line has 2 shots.
Good playoff fun.
Yeah, but a bad playoff foul. That's a bad playoff foul. You've got them on the run, both teams in the penalty. You don't foul beyond the three-point line. Easier said than done when you're competing against the best player in the game, but you've just got to make sure you compete as hard as you can, but keep your discipline to make them earn their points versus gift them points.
The back-to-back MVP, way short on that. 9-point Celtic lead, just under 5 to play here in the second. We're in game 4. Parker, another foul. Parker just can't, as good a defender as Parker is, and he's a good one, he just can't stay with Rondo's quickness. Not too many players can.
Now watching Rondo this first half, it's a different style than a Darren Williams or Chris Paul or Steve Nash in the way that they can take over a game. But this first half has been a thing of beauty when you talk about Rondo playing the point guard position. I thought he made one mistake in forcing the ball down the left side in transition. Other than that, he has played outstanding basketball and set the tone for the Celtic team.
See, and I thought last game, as you see the numbers from Rondo, to do what he was doing, I thought it took him a lot more dribbles. I thought he pounded the ball last game unnecessarily. This game, when he's attacking, he's doing it with a minimum number of dribbles.
Well, that's exactly what Doc Rivers said before the game. He said the ball was just in his hands way too much, and as good a distributor as he is, it's ball movement the key for this team. They've had it here in the first half. They've got 45 points, and there's still over 4.5 to go. James to Jamison. A good open look. Jamison took a shot after releasing the field goal attempt. Garnett running the floor and banks it in. Cavs slow to get back. Beautiful pass from Rondo. And what a first half he's having. James on the drive. And a foul. And Perkins picks up his third.
And he was late to help. He had plenty of time to clear the restricted area and help outside the lane. He held up. He's clearly in the restricted area. That's a great finish by James. Good strength. And Perkins has got to take one more step and take the charge.
He'll now take a few steps and go to the bench as Glenn Davis comes in. LeBron James has enjoyed his time in Boston this season. In the regular season, he had a 36-point game and a 42-point game. Then he had 38 Friday night, game 3. He says he likes coming to Boston. Was a big Larry Bird fan. That was his favorite Celtic. He has 12 here in the first half this afternoon. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the second. Pierce is back on, or James back on Pierce. Now they switch. Pierce won't go. Well, Celtics got to be happy this lead. Pierce just one of 3 points. Mo Williams blocked by Garnett, but a foul first on Ray Allen.
But closing out half, just what I talked about. So you allow LeBron James to go baseline and get a 3-point play, and then you foul Mo Williams. This is the way teams hang around when you should be creating some separation.
And right now, I think they have to go back to Ray Allen against Mo Williams, whether it's in the post or off screens, or post Kevin Garnett against Jamison.
A lot of free throws, 20 for the Celtics, and this one coming up, the 20th free throw attempt for the Cavaliers.
Which is always exciting to watch.
5-point Boston lead. It's been a good physical game so far, maybe a little too physical. Rondo to Allen. Allen tried to jam it in, ball deflected. Only the 4th turnover, and James threw it behind Parker.
I think if you're the Celtics also, you got to get back to Kevin Garnett on the block being defended by Antoine Jamison. He has great position, but they're so into running their set plays. Get him the basketball.
Garnett's 4 of 6 in this series. He's had success. Rondo floats it up and in. Rondo, points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds here in the first half. Garnett bumps down Mo Williams. They let it go.
That was a good non-call. That was a flop.
O'Neal inside, tried to jam it, and a whistle and a foul. Shaq has been aggressive once again. And he's going to go back to the free throw line. Garnett, his second foul. Rajon Rondo, Mark, having a terrific first half.
Getting it done offensively, whether it be making plays for guys or getting into the seams. Time and time again, excuse me, Shaq gets to the cup. Penetrating, breaking down the defense, pick and roll. You go underneath. I'm not selling for a jump shot. I'm going to beat you on my terms. Stellar half for Rondo.
Back in Boston, Rajon Rondo and the Celtics impressive. They lead by 7, 2:58 remaining in the second. Of course, the Celtics, so much talk about the big three. With the three perhaps future Hall of Famers. With Pierce, who has struggled in this series. Ray Allen having a big first half, and Kevin Garnett. But maybe the most indispensable player on this team right now is Rajon Rondo, who grew up playing all sports. He was a pitcher in baseball, quarterback in football. He likes being controlled.
The quarterback is the leader on the field, and the pitcher pretty much makes all the calls as well as the quarterback. And then it just translates onto the court. You know, just always having that leadership role, taking responsibility when things don't go as well as the plan at first. You know, when the team does bad, and they usually point at the quarterback or the point guard or the pitcher. So there you have it. It's all three sports, and those are the main guys.
He's becoming the main guy here in Boston as Shaq misses the free throw.
And I tell you what, you can testify to this. It's a lonely place to coach without a point guard, a legitimate point guard. He makes your life so much easier, and I'm sure Doc Rivers appreciates what Rondo does.
And you don't even need an all-star point guard, but you need an intelligent point guard. To try to play the NBA game without a point guard with a high IQ, you're not going to win.
Just watch some of the teams that are having success in the playoffs. The shot clock down to 7. Rondo to Garnett. Good open look. Garnett, 5 of 7 from the field. Celtics back up by 9. Rondo's approaching a triple-double here in the first half. Jamison, another tough shot.
And again, why is Glenn Davis late on that rotation? His name is Shaquille O'Neal. You don't want to leave his body, so you're a count late.
Garnett. Good ball movement, Allen. Rondo tips it, but right to James as we hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. Williams, a deep three. Knocked out of bounds by Jamison. Coming up, we'll have our T-Mobile halftime report. Stuart Scott, John Barry, Magic Johnson, and Michael Wilbon. They'll have first half analysis, and then Kevin Garnett remembering. What he'll be remembering is his former teammate Malik Sealy, one of the classiest NBA players in his day, who died on his birthday back in 2000 in that car accident. And Garnett will remember a teammate that he loved and admired so much. It's coming up on the T-Mobile halftime report. Rondo to Davis. Davis draws the foul on O'Neal. That's 3 on Shaq.
And I thought on the last trip down, Mo Williams took a shot where LeBron James in transition was being guarded by Rondo. And when a guy is going so well, you've got to make them guard against that mismatch.
Free throw shooting. Boston 14 of 20. Cleveland 16 of 22. We've had 30 personal fouls as Davis misses that one. Celtics trying to even this series up. They'll go back to Cleveland. Game 5 will be Tuesday at the Q, where they split the first 2 games. The road team 2-1 so far in this series. West to James. Ray Allen. Ray Allen's had a very good defensive first half. With maybe that one exception that play you talked about earlier, but he's battled James. Ball poked away. Picked up by Pierce. Rondo takes it away. Here comes Rondo. Fakes, drives, layup won't go. Davis tries to follow. Big Baby tied up down low. Knocked out of his hands by LeBron James. Good foul from both teams. James on the drive. And Ray Allen picks up his third foul.
And how quickly it turns. The Celtics with a great opportunity off a great defensive play to finish and go up 10. And Rondo makes a good decision, just misses a layup. And I love the effort by Pierce and then Big Baby. And I thought he was getting fouled in there. And then you get a foul on Ray Allen in transition the other way. Those turnaround plays, wow.
Mark, on that drive for Rondo, you talk about young point guards, kids who might be watching. That's the right play because Parker kept backing up, never committed to where he was going, right?
Your job as a playmaker in transition is to allow the defense to tell you what to do. That's whether to give up the basketball or be a scorer. So Rondo did the correct thing by keeping his dribble live and then getting all the way to the cup. The problem was he wasn't able to finish the lane.
James short on that free throw.
Now, this is the right play to make. You push the ball, you got numbers. Parker's not defending you. He does not stop the basketball, and he allows you to get to the cup. Like I said, just Rondo wasn't able to finish the play.
Cavaliers during the regular season were dead last in free throw percentage. Yet in game 3, they hit 31 of 34. They've missed 7 free throws here in the first half today. Pierce. Would still like to get him going. It's only 1 of 3 from the field. That one he puts in.
Now, that's the play you got to make if you're Paul Pierce. Screen and roll, they switch, get me the basketball and get out of my way.
Parker. Nice little head fake. Good open look. Can't get it to fall. They're just 2 of 9 from downtown as Tony Allen falls down. They're letting some incidental contact go free.
That's a good no call. That's a flop.
And what's been a physical game, the officials have let them play in a lot of those. Shot clock turned off. Pierce, nice crossover to the basket, kicks it out. And not a good decision from Pierce as time expires here in the first half. And LeBron James, just 3 of 8 from the field, got to the free throw line a lot. The Celtics defense, a far cry from their performance on Friday night. Ray Allen and the Celtics came out with the aggressiveness and attacking style that Doc Rivers wanted. And an impressive first half led by Rajon Rondo. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists to the steal, and he's with Lisa.
Thank you, Mike. Rajon, 18 points for you in that first half. What was the key for your first half success, would you say?
We got stopped defensively, and I was able to run in transition. I didn't convert very well on layups and free throws, but my mindset is to be aggressive. You
said that you were able to run and to get into the paint. Do you feel like you're able to get into the paint anytime you want to?
I do. Anytime, anybody who's checking me. I'm very confident, but, you know, my teammates were getting stops, and it's able for me to use my speed and my quickness to get to the lane.
All right, thank you for your time.
Well, the 24-year-old with quiet confidence, Lisa. Nothing quiet about his first half. And the T-Mobile halftime report, the guys will talk about the first half. Celtics desperate for a win to stay in this series. And also Kevin Garnett remembers his former late teammate Malik Sealy. All coming up, the T-Mobile halftime report. After the shellacking they took in Game 3, worst home playoff loss in franchise history, the Celtics came out on fire. Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo doing it. And it's a 54-45 Boston lead.
Only 2.
All right, let's go to Lisa Salters.
Hey, Michael, I was talking to Mike Brown coming out of the locker room, and he said, we've just got to get back in transition. He said they had 13 fast break points in that first half. They were getting it out on a make or a miss. We've got to slow them down. So I said it really gets back to Rajon Rondo. He said, of course, definitely, he's the key guy. He said, but also, remember, Ray Allen got a coast-to-coast layup in that first half, so that can't happen. Mike?
All right, let's see what happens here as we start the third. Celtics again with Paul Pierce just 5 points, and they had some foul difficulties, so there were a lot of fouls on both teams. They've got that 9-point lead. Garnett was sharp. And that continues. 6 of 8 from the field is Kevin Garnett.
That's an advantage they have at any time. Just post him up and live with the result.
This equals their largest lead, and it equals the largest home lead of any team in this series. Nice pass, James. Little no-look dish, and Jamison finishes.
And this is a dangerous decision by Doc Rivers, putting Ray Allen on LeBron James with 3 fouls early in this half.
Pierce can't get it to go. He continues his struggle shooting. Mo Williams shut off by Pierce. And Jamison can't connect. Perkins the rebound. You've got Perkins and Ray Allen with 3 fouls. Rasheed Wallace with 4. Shaq's the only Cav with 3 fouls at the other side.
See, to me, that's when Garnett's too unselfish. You know, he's got advantage. Just go in the post and demand the ball, just like that. He came out to set a pick and roll. I'm saying this. That's unselfish, but you got to do what's right for the team, and you can get, and it's all right to get 30 in this game.
James picks up that foul.
This is good position, good cut by Ray Allen. Garnett, good poise, gets into the paint. There's no defense for Antoine Jamison on that and got fouled. I mean, knocked it in. The next possession, he sort of gave up his post position to play pick and roll. He ended up back there, but I still think he's got to be more demanding right now that the ball comes to him in the post.
Throughout his career, even back in the Minnesota days, when he's put up big numbers, he was always sometimes unselfish to a fault.
And that's again, putting pressure on the defense. Plus, you know what that does by posting the ball up? It sets your defense down at the other end. When you shoot it close, you're not going to give up as many transition opportunities going to the other end.
Both teams been to the line a lot. Both teams have missed a bunch of free throws, however. But it's Boston by 11.
Something to look at. Paul Pierce is now on LeBron James. What went unnoticed is a couple of plays ago where Jamison makes the layup. Ray Allen tweaks his left ankle. Tell Doc Rivers he's okay, but certainly not 100%.
Foul call on Pierce. Now Pierce has 3 fouls. First team foul as we begin the third quarter.
And I think right now Jamison's ability to stretch the defense is being overrated. He's not making his 3, but he is hurting them on rolls to the rim and drives to the basket. They've got to square their body up and take away that right-handed drive.
Nobody really making 3s here this afternoon. The two teams have combined 3 for 16. And Jamison again gets to the goal. Antoine Jamison, 12 points.
You know, the frustrating thing is, even if you don't pay attention to the game, just watch and listen to the announcer. Jeff Van Gundy has said it time and time again. If you're going to run to the body of Jamison, you're going to allow him to get to that right hand and get to the hoop.
Did you just try and hit your head on the
I did.
table?
I wanted to bloody myself because as O'Neal travels. Because I'm like over there. I know Doc Rivers. I know his attention to detail. I know they watched it. I mean, this makes no sense. You've got to get a better angle on him.
And as a coach, you're saying if he blows by you with the left hand and finishes, that's on me. But we cannot accept time and time again him getting to his right hand and finish.
Rondo left open. Not that time. And Shaq with the rebound.
And Perkins has to be more set on his screens.
Mo Williams penetrates, and it's kicked. Cleveland will inbound.
Good ball. Cleveland change possession.
I get a little jealous. I'm looking at Ray Allen's sprained ankle, and he's still 10 times faster than I've ever been.
James drives left-handed, makes it look so easy. He's got 15. Nice to see a close game after 2 consecutive blowouts in games 2 and 3. Garnett blocked by O'Neal, but a foul. Let's see who they call it on. It's against Jamison. That's 3 on Jamison. And Garnett back to the line. The free throw parade continues here in game 4.
Again, Antoine Jamison is so integral to their offense that you have to attack him defensively, because if he's in foul trouble, your options defensively are so much greater. Here he faces up, he drives right, he loves to spin back to his right shoulder, and I don't see a foul. But I couldn't see the body work.
Jamison off to a good start here in the 3rd. Garnett continues his good free throw shooting, 6 for 6 from the line. Boston by 9. Williams, O'Neal. James, hop step back into Shaq, who's fouled by Pierce. And Pierce now with 4 fouls.
And you know, that's a tough call. How much value does a foul have compared to giving up a sure dunk? And I think in this case, as we see James make a great play to O'Neal, I think Paul Pierce's value is so great, and their starting unit playing together is so important that you have to let that one go.
You make a great point, because now Doc Rivers has no choice but to take Pierce out of the ball game. You'll sacrifice the deuce by Shaquille O'Neal to keep Paul Pierce on the floor. And that doesn't mean lay down and be a dog defensively. That just means make the smart play.
And O'Neal hits more free throws. And he gets the 2 points. Shaq shot 8 free throws in the first 3 games combined. He's taken 11 free throws here in game 4. He's had a real presence down low for Cleveland. Tony Allen's going to get some big minutes now. Cuts to the basket. Ball knocked out of bounds. Cleveland ball.
And you see the problem right there. LeBron James sagging off Tony Allen, makes the entry pass hard. They don't have the same respect for his jump shot, so it muddies up their spacing.
Williams gets inside. Good ball movement. It's an open look. Parker puts it in, and it's a 4-point game.
I really like how aggressive Mo Williams has been in pick-and-roll situations. It's not about his scoring, but he is making plays getting into the paint area.
And Parker, 10 points for the 5 starters in double figures for Cleveland. Ray Allen's good shooting continues. He's got 14. Williams again, nice penetration, just like you said, Mark, and an easy 2 for Shaq.
And again, that's because Garnett didn't want to come off of Jamison's body. It allowed Mo Williams to just turn the corner unimpeded.
Allen, nice hesitation, soft, light touch high off the glass.
I don't like the way Jamison defended that pick and roll. You're going to force Ray Allen, get into his skin, and force him to make a play. Don't allow him all that airspace, and he comes off without a Cavalier jersey in front of him.
Rondo kicks it. Cavs inbound. Ray Allen, now at 16. When Ray Allen has hit the 20-point mark in the playoffs, Celtics are 4-0. When he's fallen shy, they're 1-3. James. 3-pointer won't go. Perkins the rebound. Rondo to Allen. Nice pass. Perkins. Jamison strips him of the ball. Shaq running the floor and lays it in. Shaquille O'Neal with 17 points. And it's back to 4 again.
Got to give credit to the poise of the Cavs. Never panic. Continue to hang around and making plays and find themselves in a ball game.
It's the most points Shaq has scored in the playoffs so far this year. Offensive foul. Mo Williams draws the charge, and Ray Allen. Oh, sorry, they call it on Tony Allen.
This is energy. This is teamwork. Looks like a wide open layup. You talk about 2 guys in a situation, Mo Williams and Jamison. How about in transition? The big fella running the floor. Easy lane.
Garnett could have been called for a foul on that, too. Ball deflected off Jamison's fingertips. 4-point game as we approach the midway point of the third. Not a must-win situation, but pretty darn close for the Celtics.
It is. You can say it. If they don't win this game, they're not winning the series.
Game 5 will be in Cleveland Tuesday. They do not obviously want to be down 3-1. Rondo's scoop layup rolls off the rim. And O'Neal with a rebound.
This guy said if they don't win this game, they're not winning the series. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Williams.
Yeah, I'm the master of the obvious.
Parker deflected by Rondo. The NBA steals leader gets one there and then draws the foul. And we'll have a timeout. Cleveland on the comeback trail. O'Neal getting it done here this afternoon on the road.
He has played huge. Not only scoring, but getting people in foul trouble. He's best on the weak side, playing off of people. Here, this is what he used to do best. Run the floor, take the hit, and finish.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Tuesday night on ESPN's 30 for 30, rapper-turned-filmmaker Ice Cube explores the unlikely marriage between the NFL's Rebel franchise, Al Davis's Raiders, and the City of Angels. Straight out of L.A. on ESPN Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, part of ESPN Films' critically acclaimed 30 for 30 series, presented by Levi's. While Garnett sits, the Cavs inching their way back in. Antoine Jamison and company getting it done here in the third.
Well, all game, Jamison has hurt the Celtics with right-hand drive. From the very first couple possessions, it's catch and go right. And again, the Celtics have not done a good job adjusting. It's time and again, he's hurting them. And Doc Rivers is saying, hello, anyone listening? I don't even know if he said that. Let me take that back. I have no idea what Doc Rivers said, but if it was me, I would have been trying to convey the message that, can we at least influence him to his left hand?
Would you have conveyed it the way you said, hello, is anyone listening?
Those words may have been a part of it, but there have been a few other ones added in, as Mark can attest to.
I've been there. Totally understand. I didn't make that many mistakes like that, but I understand.
Allen to Perkins. Perkins blocked by O'Neal. Still Celtic ball, just 2 left on the shot clock.
And Mike, you were watching LeBron James now play just center field defensively off Tony Allen, which is disrupting the flow of the Celtics. And it goes back to Pierce, should he have taken that 4th foul or not on O'Neal.
Garnett has to shoot, puts up a 3, nearly banks it in. Rondo, the offensive rebound, his 9th rebound of the game. Parker backing off. Rondo flips it up high off the glass. Perkins tip won't go. Under 5 to play in the third. Celtics have led for most of the game as James falling away gets it to go. But right now it's down to 2. An 11-point lead cut to 64-62.
I don't blame him neither. If I'd have made that move, I'd have made the same noise. I'd have admired my own work.
Rasheed Wallace gets off the bench. Pierce sits with the 4 fouls. Tony Allen gets it. Nice feed to Perkins, and the basket won't count. Foul on the pass. They're not in the penalty yet, so Boston will take it out.
We're talking about a one-on-one move, full steam ahead, going to his offhand, fading away, contested, knocks it down, and then Picasso, enjoy your work.
Well, James had his masterpiece in game 3. Still has time to put on the finishing touches of this one. 17 points.
He could start his own art museum.
Allen, nice move inside from Ray Allen, who's underrated around the basket.
Well, especially he's being guarded by Mo Williams. Take advantage.
Williams fires a 3. Answers back. Mo Williams, just his 2nd field goal. Under 4 to play. Cavs now within 1. They've trailed by as many as 11. Allen, too strong. And Rondo, pass to Allen. Oh, beautiful feed, blocked. Swatted out of bounds by James. James, who's second in the NBA, is Ray's mom not happy. She thought there should have been a foul call. He's second in the playoffs in blocks behind Howard.
I'm sorry, Mama, that's not a foul. That's just a big-time play by a big-time player.
I'm amazed at how young she looks. She looks great.
She's not happy right now.
No wonder she could run that Boston Marathon.
I got her against you in a marathon.
So do I.
Allen leans in, too strong. James caught it, trying to throw it away, and we'll have a jump ball. With 3:25 remaining, the Celtics have seen their lead cut from 11 to 1.
The hard part for the Celtics, again, not to belabor it too much, but when they had Rondo, Tony Allen and Perkins on the floor, and now even with Rasheed Wallace, they don't have as good a spacing as when Paul Pierce is on the floor and they can spread it so those driving lanes are open.
And that's why if I was Doc Rivers, I would have kept Paul Pierce in the ballgame. You can take the pressure off him defensively by allowing him to guard someone other than LeBron James.
And here's where they need Rasheed Wallace to give them some good minutes. It's why they signed him, for playoff work. He played well in game 2, but has been very quiet besides that. Wallace turns, shoots, can't get it to go. James drives inside, stolen by Wallace. Good defense from Tony Allen. Rondo cuts to the basket, and a foul on West. Rondo knocked down again. And we'll have a timeout. More free throws coming up for Rajon Rondo. But the Cleveland Cavs on the comeback trail.
Good job by Rondo, not falling in love with the play, but moving without the basketball, forcing the contact and going to the line. Good patience by KG. What a ball game.
Rondo just a couple of assists away from a triple-double. He'll have a chance to add a couple of more points. Goes to the line with his team up 1. Back in Boston, game 4, Celtics holding on to a 1-point lead. Rajon Rondo having another terrific game. He just keeps getting better and better, his head coach says, because he works at it.
He's a film watcher. When we go through our walkthroughs now, when we call out the plays, he knows every single play that we're going over defensively. I mean, he's really matured, and on top of that, he's become more of a student of the game. He already had a high basketball IQ, but now it's off the charts.
And it's come a long way, their relationship. Doc Rivers said when Rondo first came into the NBA after a couple of years at Kentucky, they butted heads because he said Rondo felt like he knew everything. He butted heads with Tubby Smith at Kentucky. But Rondo's not afraid to go against the grain. Here's a Louisville native who went to the University of Kentucky. That's not an easy decision. And boys, he made himself into one of the premier point guards in the league.
The one thing you want from a guy is competitiveness. A guy that's not going to quit. And certainly Rondo has that.
Nice pass, nice finish. James to Varejao. And the game is tied. Cavs have slowly chipped away at that 11-point lead. Dangerous pass. Rondo tried to jam it in there. Rasheed Wallace not even close.
But there's absolutely, they just have no room to work with in the paint.
James spinning, kicks it out. Mo Williams wide open. And Tony Allen the rebound. 2 minutes left here in the third. Rondo the penetration, flips it up. And a late whistle and a foul. Well, Rondo will shoot. James called for the personal. That's 3 on LeBron James. Just hit him on that right arm. Well, Rondo just keeps getting knocked down or falling down.
And I think if you're Rondo right now, looking at the lineup on the floor, here's where you become super aggressive, because Ray Allen is really the only guy that can score and hurt the Cavs. So Rondo got to be put in a position where he's creating offense for others on the floor.
And I think Tony Allen's got it. Hey, right now LeBron James is disregarding you. He's coming early to help prevent passes. You've got to figure out where you can hurt him and find a quality shot.
James. West, nice little head fake and draws the foul. Smart play from Delonte West. And Ray Allen picks up his 4th. And Mo Williams apparently is cut.
Solid fouls on number 20, Ray Allen. That's his 4th personal.
He's okay. Instead, West will go to the free throw line. Are they going to give him 3 shots?
They're going to go to the and review it.
Did you forget that it's called a monitor?
Good point. You know, as you get older, you have some slippage.
This is one of the good new rules that they can check.
And you could get him for travel on that, too.
And he was definitely behind the line. And you see Allen with that left hand grabbing him.
But that's all because of the vision of LeBron James. They scored on the Varejao roll to the rim on the previous possession. That time he goes up into the air. He sees Varejao. Ray Allen's sucking into the lane, and he hits it right to Delonte West.
So more free throws. 30 free throw attempts for Boston, 26 for Cleveland. And Pierce will come back in with the 4 fouls. West's first points of the afternoon. Fenway Park in Boston. The final game of the 3-game set. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Nice live shot on a nice day. Boy, it rained yesterday. They had a rain delay. Yankees won 2 in a row, going for the sweep. It's been a tough weekend for the Boston sports fan. Celtics getting pounded on Friday night. Red Sox losing 2. Bruins losing. Trying to recover here on Sunday.
I didn't get a chance to tell you guys how much I appreciate spending time with you as my Yankees took care of the Red Sox yesterday. That was awesome.
You are an obnoxious Yankee fan.
And our producer, Tim Corrigan, got it done, getting us in that booth yesterday.
Some people just have a knack with pulling strings and making things happen. Tim Corrigan is our LeBron James.
Oh, man. Cavs, meanwhile, at the lead. Varejao the block, and then a foul called. You see the reaction from Varejao. Mike Callahan giving him a little bit of rope. The emotions of the playoffs. And Wallace will go to the line. That's a foul.
But I do like the poise of Mike Callahan right there.
He's without question one of the best in the league.
You know, an emotional reaction to a 50-50 type of call. You could say it was a foul, or you could say, you know, play on. I thought this was very good piece of officiating.
There's Fenway Park yesterday. Was that during the rain delay?
No.
Who are you talking to?
My daughter.
I can't believe that. I got no attention from you guys. One guy on the phone, the other guy is in love with his ice cream.
Listen, what? Did you see how big that ice cream was to start? It was like, it was free, so he's like loading up. Give me sprinkles. Give me, I mean, it's embarrassing.
It was good. We've got a good one here this afternoon, all tied at 70 with 1:19 remaining. Third quarter, Cavs trying to take a 3-1 lead in this series. Tony Allen bumps James, stolen by Davis. A hit to Rondo. Rondo, one man to beat, swoops back to Allen, pretty pass, and the finish. Rajon Rondo with his 9th assist of the afternoon. James looking. West open 3. Won't go. Knocked away. And Pierce will reset. Good transition defense by the Cavs. Pierce on a pull-up. Jamison foul by Rondo. And the Celtics in the penalty. Not a good foul there as Jamison will shoot. But he has been just terrific once again here this afternoon.
Understanding, making the right decisions. I see you, Mr. James. Drops it off to Allen. Great read by Rondo.
He just has such a feel for the game. That's what Mike Brown keeps saying. And since James coming in, James, who loves those chase down blocks, was ready for one right there.
And what that foul 94 feet away from the basket did for Cleveland is it gives them a legitimate 2-for-1. So they tie the score. If Jameson makes the next free throw, they get a stop and they have the last shot.
All even as we wind down the third quarter. Rondo's played all but a minute. Inside to Allen. Reverse layup. Oh, pretty play from Tony Allen as Rondo has his triple-double. His fourth playoff triple-double. Mo Williams in and out. Allen's got time, launches it. And that will end the third quarter. Allen nearly traveled with it. As Rajon Rondo, he had 3 triple-doubles last year in the first round against the Bulls. Just an extraordinary performance so far here this afternoon, and we still have a quarter to go as the Celtics have a 2-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter.
Got ourselves a great ball game. LeBron James taking over. Fadeaway jump shot third quarter, knocking it down, enjoying the playoff game, and then Rondo putting on an absolute clinic on how to run the point guard position in the playoffs.
This presentation of the NBA playoffs at ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Welcome back to Boston, Doc. You guys started that third quarter up 9. Now you're up 2. What changed?
Well, we got a lot of fouls. You know, a lot of our shooters are sitting on the bench right now. So we just got to weather the storm and see if we can use some time, keep a lead, and then get our guys back in.
You've said it before that in order to win this series, you're going to need your superstar, Paul Pierce, to play better. He spent most of that third quarter on the bench with 4 fouls. What do you need from him in this fourth quarter?
Just stay aggressive. You know, the foul trouble is killing him. He has no rhythm because of the foul trouble. So we just want him to stay aggressive.
All right, thank you very much. Mike?
All right, Lisa, we start the fourth quarter. Crowd trying to cheer on the Celtics. They lead by 2. It's such a huge game. They want to tie this series up at 2 games apiece. These Boston Celtics that won the title in 2008. Last year, injuries a big part of why they were derailed in the conference semifinals. Some thinks that this might be their last chance to win a championship. The team's getting older. This is a huge game right now. You not want to fall behind. 3-1 against the Cavs. Tony Allen with a steal. Allen on the drive, back for Rondo, and he lays it in. Tony Allen making plays off the bench. A little indecisiveness right now from Cleveland. James the fake, steps back, sets a 3. Won't go. O'Neal the rebound, but he pushed off, and that's 5 on Shaq. The Celtic fans do not want this to be the final home game of the season. A victory here this afternoon would guarantee them coming back for Game 6. Game 5 is Tuesday night in Cleveland, as Hickson will report in. And there's some foul difficulty now for the teams. O'Neal now with 5. Pierce and Ray Allen and Rasheed Wallace each with 4 for Boston. Glenn Davis, Rasheed Wallace in the game right now for Boston. Rondo, pass deflected out of bounds. Last touch by West. 12 to shoot.
Hey, Mike, the thing I disagree with, Doc talking to Lisa, saying that the foul trouble is not allowing Pierce to get in rhythm. I think it's just something with Paul Pierce right now. He's just not playing Paul Pierce type basketball, and he's got to find a way to take over this game to give his team life.
Shot clock down to 5. Rondo's got to make his moves. Going to have to hoist up a 3. Just grazes the rim. Pierce had an up-and-down season. Injuries a part of it. Then in the first round against Miami, had some superb games. Has struggled offensively in this series. James. J.J. Hickson. Allen gets right up on him. Good ball movement. Parker open 3. Won't go. And Rondo another rebound. Throws it ahead to Pierce, but too far. That's only the 8th turnover from Boston. And just the 2nd one by Rondo. James, by the way, has 6 turnovers himself. Hickson puts his head down. Bad decision that time. Back-to-back turnovers. This time the pass gets to Glenn Davis, and he lays it in. Celtics back up by 6. Timeout, Cleveland.
Tell you what, Ocho Cinco, look out for Uno. That's outstanding wide receiver work. Catching it in the middle of traffic, bringing it down, and then finishing. Way to go, you big baby.
I've been cheering on her son here on Mother's Day in Boston. He's got 18 points right now resting as she's watched Tony Allen did a couple of key plays to help the Celtics go back up by 6.
And sitting next to Mrs. Allen, Dave Lato, former Virginia coach in the house, who coached Ray Allen as an assistant at UConn.
James, head down, drives, won't go. Wanted a foul. Davis the rebound. Rondo. Pierce. And Allen wisely brings it back out. J.J. Hickson on him. Little crossover move. Tony Allen puts it in. 10 big points off the bench for Allen. Delonte West on the drive. Block. Davis and Wallace converge. Rondo to Big Baby Davis banks it in. 8-0 run to start the 4th. Timeout, Cleveland. Celtics by 10. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th. They've stormed out to start the 4th quarter.
Rondo pushing the ball, patiently waiting. Davis filling the lane, finishes in transition, enjoying what him and his bench guys are doing. Certainly give credit. Outstanding job of holding the fort down. Not only Tony Allen, Glenn Davis, but also Rasheed Wallace.
Tony Allen stays in the game. James to Varejao, bad pass. That's his 7th turnover. Tony Allen to the basket. Huge plays from the backup guard. The other Allen on the Celtics roster gives his team a 12-point lead. And this the largest lead of the game. This crowd going berserk here at the TD Garden. Williams stripped by Wallace. Celtic ball. Already 4 turnovers in the 4th quarter for Cleveland.
You have to give credit to Glenn Davis and Rasheed Wallace have done an excellent job in their pick and roll coverages, forcing these turnovers.
Good defense from James. Look at Davis dive on the floor. Pierce for 3. Well, that would have brought the house down. 12-point lead. Still plenty of time remaining. Parker up top. Jamison, good look. Won't go. Rasheed Wallace is fouled. Everything going Boston's way here to start the fourth.
And Tony Allen is spent right now. And Doc Rivers is going to take him out. He had a very slow transition the last time, as did Rondo.
And you know what? He went over to Doc Rivers and told Doc Rivers, I'm on empty. And that's okay, because if you sell out the way that he just sold out for those minutes, giving Ray Allen a break, you've earned the right to tell me that you're empty. Outstanding job by Tony Allen.
Celtics picked up a number of guards during the regular season to help fill in that role, whether it's Michael Finley and Nate Robinson, but Tony Allen is the one who's emerged. Shot clock down to 5. Davis backing in, lost the ball. Pierce now on James. Pierce been in foul trouble all afternoon. He's got 4. Mo Williams to the basket. Pretty play from Mo Williams. And that, their first points of the quarter, took them about almost 5 minutes before they scored. Rondo left open. See Parker really playing off him again. Rondo pull-up jump shot, knocks it down. 25 for Rondo.
That's a good read, because that's a shot you have to take if you're Rondo.
Jamison inside of Varejao. Varejao whacked. There's so much contact there. Varejao lost his mouth guard. Rondo stripped by Parker. Here comes James. And just like that, it's back to 8. And still, again, plenty of time. Now Doc Rivers doesn't like the last couple of possessions. He calls timeout.
That's an excellent timeout.
The Celtics trying to tie this series up at 2 apiece. 6:15 remaining. Right now, let's go to the studio with Stuart Scott. The TD Garden in Boston is loud this afternoon. The Celtics up by 8, 6:15 remaining in the fourth. Time for our Windows 7 winning combination. It's Rajon Rondo and any of his teammates.
I love this. You're an extension of the coach on the floor. Talk about it. Let's diagram it. Let's go through it. And then let's execute it on the floor. Directing traffic. Being a point guard, being a quarterback, putting the ball on point to the guys, putting them in position to finish, whether it be the stars or the guys coming in off the bench. Great reads by Rondo time and time again. Outstanding job here. The quarterback, full court pass. This guy's playing excellent basketball from the point guard position, doing it all.
And you see the triple-double. He had 3 of them last year.
He's got a quadruple-double going, because he has 14 free throw attempts, which may be the most important one on the whole stat sheet.
He's hit 9 of them. Right now it's an 8-point game. Allen. Wallace tips it out of bounds. Cleveland ball. Still plenty of time.
I like Rasheed Wallace's effort here today more than I've seen in a long time. He is trying to rebound in traffic. He is setting good screens. He is doing all the things that a high basketball IQ player like he has the capabilities of being does.
Garnett on James. James head down, drives, layup, gets it to go, and a foul. LeBron James powers to the basket and a chance for a 3-point play.
A good job of spreading the floor. So you have Mo Williams on one side and Anthony Parker on the other. So help can't come from there. But the help should come from the bottom guys in Pierce and also Rasheed Wallace being in position to help. They allow LeBron James to get all the way to the cup after the contact.
5 fouls on Pierce. And James approaching a triple-double as well. 7 straight points from Cleveland, and it's back to 5. Pierce sits with the 5 fouls. Tony Allen back in, but he has been effective.
And I think if Allen wasn't effective, then you stick with Pierce to close out this game. but it makes it easier for Doc Rivers because of the force that Allen is playing.
Wallace shot won't go, battling on the boards, but Jamison comes away. Wallace and Varejao fighting on that one. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining. James looks, finds Jamison, doesn't settle. Back for James, inside, layup, rolls off the rim, tipped away, Rondo tracks it down. 13 rebounds for Rajon Rondo. Bounce pass, beautiful block by James, but a foul before James's play. They're not in the penalty. Let's see if it's in the act of shooting. Yes. So 2 shots. So Tony Allen will go to the free throw line. Allen, one of the unlikely heroes. Now in his 6th year out of Oklahoma State. He's played his entire career here in Boston. A first-round pick back in 2004. He's been banged up last couple of years. Knee injuries, ankle injuries. Had one earlier, missed the first 20 games of the season, fell out of the rotation. But he's made some big plays as he's gotten them back here in the playoffs. Fenway Park in Boston, that's going to be the site of tonight's Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Mike Lowell and the Red Sox trying to salvage a game against the Yankees. They've won 2 straight. And Allen misses a pair of free throws. Celtics 23 of 34. They've missed 9 free throws. Make that 11 free throws, excuse me. Varejao to the basket. Blocking foul, basket's good, and 1. And the Cavaliers with a chance to cut it to 2 with a free throw coming up. 9 straight points now.
I like this defense, but Ray Allen has to be earlier on that to meet him 1 step higher, because they did a good job of making James a passer. But Varejao, such a good roller, catches it, keeps it up high, and finishes. And I just wonder, where are the Celtics going to find enough points and enough spacing right now down the stretch?
And that's where you need Paul Pierce to make plays. He's got to be Paul Pierce to finish this game for the Celtics.
Allen for 3. Won't go. Barnett, big offensive rebound. And Rondo resets. A 10-0 run for Cleveland in the last 2+ minutes. Garnett looking to post up Jamison. Double team. Finds Tony Allen. Tony Allen lays it in. Another big play from Tony Allen. 14 points. He had a big game in the first one against Miami with 14. He's done it again here this afternoon.
And Coach, that's a great read. Rather than standing out on the perimeter waiting for the catch, he slashes to the hoop.
And a foul call before the shot. It will be the 3rd team foul against the Boston Celtics. Garnett picks up his 3rd.
You got to understand what you do best. So he dives to the hoop, catches it in traffic. That's a big-time finish by Tony Allen. And we gave LeBron James credit for being excited about his teammate. Well, also Paul Pierce, ready to go into the ball game, thrilled about the minutes that Tony Allen is given.
Brown wanted to travel. Rondo with his 14th rebound of the afternoon. Rondo drives all the way to the bucket. Just falls off, and Perkins is called for the loose ball foul.
Well, I thought Rondo got away with a ward-off on his drive.
Let's see the play.
Rondo, to me, that's an offensive foul. But that's not a foul by Kendrick Perkins.
Perkins has been in foul trouble all afternoon. He stays in the game. 3.5 remaining. 4-point Boston lead. Trying to even the series at 2 apiece. James, Varejao, corner jumper. Another rebound for Rondo.
And that's too much confidence being shown by LeBron James and Varejao's ability to shoot that jump shot. If you're the Celtics, that's exactly what you want.
Allen to Perkins. Not looking to shoot at all. Tony Allen passes up an open jumper. Shot clock at 5. Garnett fires away. Perkins battling. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Cleveland. That'll be the 14th foul, so Boston will inbound when we return.
I know you thought that Allen would play big, but you didn't think it'd be Tony Allen. Well, it is. Great job of making plays time and time again, whether it be isolations, diving to the hoop. Spectacular plays by Tony Allen. Celtics up 4.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in Boston. Game 4, our GMC Sierra game track. Celtics trying to even up this series. LeBron James leading the way for Cleveland. Rondo has been brilliant with a triple-double. But Tony Allen, one of the big stars, 14 points off the bench for the Boston Celtics. We've had 2 straight blowouts in this series. The home team getting blown out in Game 2 and in Game 3. We were due for an exciting one from this.
And it's been that because of Rondo's play, and the Celtics have played with greater passion.
Rondo, Ray Allen, the starting 5 in there with Perkins, Garnett, and Pierce. Trying to go to Garnett. Verjao knocks it away. Good hustle from Verjao. He stepped out of bounds.
See, when you lob that entry pass into the post, they call a loose ball foul on Garnett.
That's just a good hustle play from Verjao. I don't see where the foul was. He grabbed him a little bit when he went past him. Obviously, that's what they saw, and they're in the penalty. So Verjao will go to the free throw line. Verjao in the playoffs, just 69% shooting from the line. He's 1 for 1 this afternoon. Didn't hear the whistle. Knocks it down. He just grabbed that right hand, grabbed Verjao's left hand slightly. Verjao 1 for 2.
But you see the adjustment made by the Cavs, putting Verjao on Garnett and putting Jamison on Perkins. So you're not concerned about Perkins posting up.
Ray Allen on the drive, blocked by Verjao. Rondo goes at Parker, inside to Pierce, and the finish. Beautiful pass from Rondo. Celtics back up by 5. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Williams fakes. Good help from Perkins. Inside, Jamison stripped. Celtics force yet another turnover. 5th one in the 4th quarter. Garnett spinning, head fake, bank shot, won't go. Rondo, another rebound, puts it back up and in. Rajon Rondo with a brilliant performance, a triple-double, and the Celtics back up by 7.
This is called making something out of nothing. James loses vision. Pierce, good cut, good strong finish, and then getting in the mix, finding a way not only to rebound it, but get it up over the shot blockers. Tremendous basketball plays by Rondo.
1:34 remaining, 4th quarter in Boston. Celtics leading the Cavaliers 92-85. The Celtics history filled with special playoff performances. And one of the all-time performances happening here this afternoon. 27 points, 13 assists, and 17 rebounds for Rajon Rondo. They've got to close it out. And before we get back to action, let's send it to Stuart Scott.
Guys, Rajon Rondo playing a perfect game, but how about a real perfect game? Dallas Braden of the Oakland A's, top 9, 2 outs, facing the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays. Gabe Kapler grounds to the shortstop. Ball game. Dallas Braden throws the 19th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. The A's blank the Rays 4-0. Dallas Braden, a perfect game, guys.
All right, Stuart. special performance in the Bay Area. Rondo hasn't been perfect, but he's been close. James flips it up, won't go. Garnett the rebound. Pierce comes up with it. Pierce tied up, trying to get free, and a foul called with 1:23 remaining.
This is great defense by Paul Pierce without fouling LeBron James, moving his feet, and then the help from Perkins, not allowing him a wide open look. That's great deep by committee by the Celtics. But get back to this. Coach, you and I agree. What Rajon Rondo is doing here this afternoon is an absolute thing of beauty.
It's going to go down as one of the greatest playoff performances by any Celtic ever. And if this had been like a legendary player like Larry Bird, people would not say anything different.
And especially you look at the circumstances, team trailing 2-1. Again, not a must-win situation, but pretty darn close. And Rondo's led the way. We were talking about Bob Cousy the other day, broke one of Cousy's records this year, single-season assist record. He said Cousy always tells him he loves watching him play. Bob Cousy, one of the great point guards in the history of the NBA, certainly the Celtics. And Rajon Rondo making Bob Cousy smile somewhere. 9-point Boston lead. Parker, a three. That misses. Perkins, the rebound. Celtics led by 11 early in the third. Cleveland came back and took the lead, but here in the fourth, Boston, and a foul called, a hard foul as Pierce goes down. It's going to be Perkins' fifth foul.
That is his fifth personal foul.
1:08 remaining. Perkins just moving a little bit. Hard foul because Perkins has got a hard body as James misses. Just the 18th rebound for Rondo.
And even a smart play, giving it to Ray Allen, not allowing the Cavs to foul. If you foul, you're fouling a great free throw shooter.
A standing ovation for the Boston Celtics. Allen in and out. Jamison lost it, and Mo Williams picks it up. Williams the drive and draws the foul. Ray Allen is just fouled out. With 33.3 remaining, some of the fans, only a couple will head for the exits as they want to stay here and cheer on the Boston Celtics. A huge victory. Although Cleveland hit a couple of free throws here, they'd need a miracle to pull this one out. Ray Allen gets a nice ovation from his mom on Mother's Day. And the Celtic faithful. 18 points for Ray Allen.
And I like that he got up 20 shots. And even though he didn't shoot a great percentage for Ray Allen, I think it's critical going forward that he gets his opportunities.
NBA playoffs. The second round continued tonight. TNT has Phoenix and San Antonio. Spurs trying to keep their season alive at home. And then next Thursday on ESPN, we'll have some Game 6s. It looks like there'll definitely be one here in Boston. And then ABC next Sunday could be a Game 7, could be Game 1 of the conference finals. Still to be determined. The Boston Celtics on the verge of making sure they'll play at least one more home game this year. 7-point game with 33.3 remaining. Garnett has it. James in pursuit. They're going to try and foul. They can't. And there's the foul.
But that's a bad play, giving it up to Tony Allen right there. You know, everybody says this game is over, but if he doesn't make free throws and they make a three, this game is not over.
So Tony Allen can seal it. Shaq has sat here in the fourth quarter. Mike Brown's team, what a great road win on Friday night. You knew Boston was going to come back out. The losing team in a series, and the next game usually the hungrier. And the fourth quarter has been superb for Boston. They blew an 11-point lead. Cavs came back and took the lead at the end of the third. But the Celtics controlled it. And Tony Allen, one of the key players, a playoff career high 15 points for Allen.
If you want to win a championship, there are going to be nights during the playoffs where guys will come off the bench and win games for you. Celtics won the championship a couple of years ago. Eddie House had just as much right to wear a ring as anybody else.
Williams and Garnett bumps him. Obviously not a smart play. Look on Doc Rivers' face tells it all. Garnett says, I know, not smart. So free throws for Cleveland. Now, if he hits these, 6-point game, 2-possession game, Celtics are going to still have to hit free throws to clinch this one.
I'm going to make one, and then I'm going to miss. Verjao violates basically on every free throw. He goes early, but he's a tremendous free throw rebounder.
Oh, there's the miss there. That kills the chance of cutting it to 6. If he tried to make both, Jamario Moon will come in. Now he really has to make.
I would definitely, I mean, I think you have to. And if you're Tony Allen, you got to be paying more attention if LeBron James can get on a running start.
Well, obviously the mindset is not to miss because they're not putting themselves in position to rebound the basketball.
Williams, a very good free throw shooter, misses both, and that will do it.
You know what, though, and you make a good point. They decided they couldn't come back in this game. But, see, I've been a part of those 1 in a million comebacks that have gone the wrong way. When Reggie Miller scored 8 points in 8.9 seconds. So, to me, I know one thing. It's improbable that they would have come back and won, but you give yourself no chance unless you give yourself a chance.
And I've been in a situation like that where basically you're coaching for the future, where you never quit as a team.
Meanwhile, Rondo carrying chance of MVP as he's able to cap off one of the great playoff performances in the storied history of the Boston Celtics. Now 28 points, 18 rebounds for a 6'1" point guard, 13 assists, a couple of steals as well. And Mike Brown will call a timeout. All that'll do is give the Celtic fans a little longer a chance to cheer for their Boston Celtics, who will tie this series at 2 games apiece and guarantee themselves a Game 6 back here in Boston on Thursday. A reminder, Tuesday night on ESPN's 30 for 30. Rapper turned filmmaker Ice Cube explores the unlikely marriage between the NFL's Rebel franchise, Al Davis's Raiders, and the City of Angels. Straight out of L.A. on ESPN Tuesday night at 8 Eastern, part of ESPN Films' critically acclaimed 30 for 30 series, presented by Levi's. Sunday Night Baseball coming up on ESPN. Yanks and Red Sox later at Fenway Park. It's been a rough start to the weekend for the Boston sports fans. But right now, the Celtics making things a little more enjoyable here on Mother's Day, led by the terrific young point guard Rajon Rondo.
And if I'm Terry Francona, I'm bringing Rondo over to talk to the Big Papi right now, the way he's rolling.
Again, Game 5 Tuesday night in Cleveland. Williams blocked by Tony Allen, got a piece of it. And the Celtics have evened the series at 2 games apiece. A remarkable performance from Rajon Rondo, the triple-double. And the Celtics still very much alive in the hunt for a championship. LeBron James, nearly a triple-double himself. Not the explosion like he had in Game 3. The Celtic defense made sure of that. Paul Pierce and the Celtics will head to Cleveland tied at 2. Let's check in with the man of the afternoon, Rajon Rondo, with Lisa.
Thank you, Mike. Rajon, your 4th career playoff triple-double, 29 points, 18 rebounds, 13 assists. How are you personally able to dominate just about every aspect of this game?
I was trying to be aggressive, help our bigs out on the glass, and as far as assists, guys made shots tonight.
Now, the guys are saying that to them, they believe that this is one of the greatest playoff performances in Celtic history. When you hear that, knowing this storied history, how does that make you feel?
It's definitely an honor. With everything that's gone on this year, all the adversity that we went through as a team, come out here and play like that tonight and get a win, which we needed, it's definitely a great feeling.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Mike.
A special performance from a terrific young point guard. There's your final, 97-87. They're all tied at 2. Game 5 Tuesday in Cleveland. Game 6 back here Thursday. We'll have it for you on ESPN. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Tune in ABC Monday night, 8 Eastern, and all new Dancing with the Stars. Now, except on the West Coast, stay tuned for ABC World News or local news on most of these stations. For Jeff and Mark and Lisa and our entire ABC crew, this is Mike Breen saying so long from Boston. Thanks for watching ABC.